Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to watchyouwant.com. Thanks for logging on. Today, I'm here with the spirit of 69. Kinda, sorta. I'm here with the Panerai Luminor Marina PAM00069. This is a classic from back in the day when the brand was just beginning to gain its footing on the luxury watch market. This reference came out in 2000 and it endured until about 2001, and it's different from your garden variety Panerai Luminor on several levels. Let's start with the most obvious. I'm going to try to let you see, there you go. There's that beautiful, metallic, straight-grained, almost iridescent blue dial. This is so different from your run-of-the-mill tobacco, slate, or black Panerai Luminor dials that it comes across even on a camera phone. Now the great thing about this watch is that it looks like no other Panerai. Think about that. Panerai is the brand of which it's been said they all look the same. If you like one, you like them all. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. And here we are with a Panerai Luminor that easily bucks that trend, that jumps right out from the crowd, not just among Panerai Luminor watches, not just among Panerai watches in general, but among all luxury watches. If you're looking for a sports watch reference that really sets itself apart with individuality, charisma, and character, this beautiful metallic blue-dialed PAM00069 really fits the bill. But there's more to it than just that. I'll get back to that dial in just a minute, but let's look at what else makes this watch different. Well, for one, it has a beautiful Panerai Tapered link bracelet. Now, anyone who has done a little bit of study of the Panerai brand knows that they are descended from the combat dive watches issued to the Italian armed forces in the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s, and also a few allies. And almost without exception, those references came on straps. Now, when Panerai debuted on the civilian market in 1993, they repeated that pattern. Almost all of the watches appeared on a strap of some kind. That trend continues to this day in 2014. So any Panerai on a bracelet is automatically an exception. But a lot of those who buy sports watches prefer a bracelet for the supple feel, for the resistance to wear, the lasting value, the higher resale value you get when you decide to part with the watch, the fact that you won't have to continuously replace it, and also the integration of the metal of the bracelet with the metal of the lugs and the cases. Some feel it's just a more coherent look. If you're into the look of, say, a Rolex Submariner or a Rolex Sea Dweller, you might want to consider a Panerai Luminor on a bracelet, because they can go toe-to-toe with the best from the big three brands, your Omegas, your Breitlings, your Rolexes. And this PAM00069 is also uniquely poised to go toe-to-toe with those icons because, yet another distinction, this is a 40mm case. Now, Panerai Luminors debuted on the civilian market with a 44. Since then, we've seen the so-called 1950 case expand those proportions up to 47mm, and there's even a freakish PAM341 that punches its way all the way to 60mm. So if you want a Panerai that can fit under a shirt cuff, that can look sober at a table of Rolex GMTs, Sea Dwellers, and Submariners, you really want to consider this PAM00069 because it has that same size, that same integrated bracelet aesthetic, and it's got that little extra something with the Panerai Luminor device protecting the crown, the classic crescent-shaped crown guard and crown lock, plus that, again, almost iridescent, highly reflective blue dial with its little shocks of pale green Luminova lume. Beautiful in the daytime, brilliant at night. It's got that classic Panerai legibility and visibility in any lighting. Plus, details abound. Unlike the Rolex with its awkward raised cyclops eye, Panerai puts its magnifier underneath the crystal so it won't get in the way of your shirt cuff. It won't mar the aesthetic of the watch in profile or head-on. Also, that sub-seconds dial that you see right here at 9 o'clock, it has its own concentric graining built in, which is very beautiful, really articulates the dial, adds to the straight vertical graining of the dial with a contrasting pattern. And as I move it through the light, you can see that little propeller of light move around the sub-seconds dial. It just adds that asymmetry, visual intrigue, a little bit of a modernist touch to the watch. So between its size, its bracelet integration, that unconventional dial, but the easy visibility in any light, you've got a watch here that is a classic sports reference that can play hard, that can work hard too, because it would look great with a suit. I think bracelets are perhaps a little bit more formal than they used to be. If you can wear a sub in the boardroom, you can wear this PAM00069 Luminor Marina. Now the nice thing about the Luminor Marina is you've got all that classic Panerai toughness. Today, a lot of the Luminors are only water resistant, to 100 meters. This is water resistant to 300. And while you may say, I'm never going to dive that deep in either case, the reality is that a little more margin of error, a little bit more margin of safety is what you always want on a luxury watch, because that day you jump into the pool or fall off the jet ski might be the day you see an overpressure equivalent to more than 100 meters. So protect your investment, both by going with the Bracelet, the tougher early Luminor case, and of course that famous device protecting the crown. This is patented by Panerai. Even though this is a 40mm case, it has all that Luminor content, especially this famous crown guard. Makes working the crown very easy. You can pull it out, you can set the time, you can set the date, pull it out all the way. There you go. Now you can set the time, push it in, wind the watch if you like. Now you don't have to wind this watch, it isn't automatic, but I'm just advertising the ease of using the crown of a watch with this crown guard. Great idea, ideal if your hands are sweaty, wet, if you're wearing gloves. This can do everything your standard Panerai Luminor can do. Plus, it can go head-to-head with the sports watches from Breitling, Omega, and Rolex. Now, this watch is available from watchyouwant.com with comprehensive factory equipment. It is a certified chronometer, so you're going to get that chronometer certificate. You're going to get the factory boxes. You're going to get technical manuals. You're going to get virtually everything you would have received had you walked into an authorized dealer and bought this watch in the year Y2K. This is an unusual sports watch. It's an unusual Panerai sports watch. Very beautiful, very striking in person. If you like Panerai but you don't want to be anonymous, consider this PAM069. And if you like Rolex but you don't like the stigma that sometimes becomes associated with Rolex, consider a Panerai that goes blow for blow with the best from Geneva. I'm Tim, this is watchyouwant.com, and we are the luxury pre-owned watch leaders. Check out our website, watchyouwant.com, with this PAM069 Luminor Marina. I'm confident that you will find the watch you want.